like you forgot. I called a shot. Like blah, blah, blah. Y'all should know me well enough.
What's going on, everyone? This is Star. Welcome to the channel. How was your week? My week was fine, thank you. Listen, we're not going to do any small talk. We're going to get right to business, to the continuation of Freemasonry. Roll the clip.
People, so let me show you it again.
And the 33rd.
So in Freemasonry, they stop at the 33rd degree because they only control 33 degrees of the arc, 33.3 to be exact. And the lesser degrees, which are, I guess, let's say all the way up to like 13 or 14, in those degrees, thousands of men fill those degrees. So you can have 40,000 men all still or more still sitting at the 5th degree or the 6th degree of the Freemason, right? However, the higher degrees, only one, if not none, as they say, when they go above 33, 34, no one is filling those seats. There's not a Mason in the lodge that can fill those seats because that's not what they're aligned with. They're aligned with the 33 and the 3rd, all the nighttime animals, all the animals also created by the jackal. So in that, you can also see why they say that good will always triumph over evil. But remember that as they were talking about in these scriptures, that this evil is working night and day. What they're really referring to is that constantly in the subconscious mind, night and day, the 33% of your consciousness that sits below the horizon is constantly trying to convince you to come over to that side. And what's happening in the reality now is that it's starting to look like, you know, even after the last scenario that happened here on Earth, it was very clear that the dark side, if you may, had like gained some foothold. So it's like when you think of the 66.6, you may think, well, we're always going to win this. But as time rolls out, man, sometimes that thing may even look like 50-50. 50 sitting on the side of the dark, 50 sitting on the side of the light, quote unquote. Now, imagine when I'm telling you all about this, I'm also saying that, hey, there's a level that you reach where you realize, hey, you're on the battlefield and you're like a toy soldier being strung along by the archetypical energies that are used in order to manage the matrix and to continue to create it through infinity. Nobody's going to stop infinite physical creation for the quote unquote negativity that is going on inside of it. It's up to you to take a moment and say, hey, that way that I'm acting, especially when you show characteristics that the characteristics are not good traits. Nobody needs to tell you about this. They say that you have your own internal compass. It's always telling you when it's like, yo, you, what's up with you? And you keep stacking it on more and more and more. So then what you're doing is you're getting more weight. So let me lay out really briefly the diagram of these kingdoms. So
It's a lot of Freemasons out here that are young and old, and they're not hiding themselves. But let's talk about something for a minute, and this is to the group, and you know who you are. Now, y'all had plans to run up in my crib like I got Beyonce money, but the true tea is your leader stole from me. One thing I notice about the West Coast, and I love the West Coast for the weather, but when it comes to the people, y'all be smoking on that ooh-wee so much, y'all be missing the point. I need y'all to get back in school, because if you gonna move like you moving out here, you gotta be on top of your shit, and that's coming from a Detroiter. Since your leader stole from me, do I have a right to run up in their crib and do a raid? Write me an essay about it.
No. Oh, come on, man. Each one, reach one, teach one. To be one, ask one. You came in Acts. Matthew 7:7, Acts, seek and knock. You driving the Ford down there to the river, dropping. You got to have a Chevrolet. You can't go that long. No, test me. Test me, bro.
Back in the business.
I'll write you. It's nighttime too, shit.
Anything can help.
They tell you the freaks come out at night, right?
There you go. What the freaks?
Yeah, hey, what was that stone made? See, that was a spider, but then that was a stone. And see, it was all raggedy, so you pay no attention to it. First made last shoes, but it still fit. Put the cones on the block. 3, 5, and 7. I'm gonna tell you what you was in. We found the formula, bro. Word ain't lost if you keep going up for it. Ain't no sprinkle occasions here, because that's stink stuff. We can't pull that up from the ground level to the limit perpendicular. You stand it up. I told you when you was on your knees, you got to open your eyes. You got to pray for yourself. Come on now. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, all my brothers and sisters? I got a question. So, how do y'all feel about drinking and, you know, being out in a social environment, which I light on? I'm a younger Mason. I've been in the game, a couple years now. But I just want to know how y'all feel personally. Do it, stitch this, or however it go. And just let me know how y'all feel about it. I know everybody got different things in their bylaws, but I'm talking about you as a person, you as a man. Let me know.
It's a lot of young Masons on TikTok. They refuse to hide. They like, listen, this is who I am. Love it or not. Now, I want to know the perks of being a Mason. Hey, type in the iPad the perks of being a Mason and then slide it to me, please. Thanks. Okay, the perks of being a Mason. You get close friends and brothers, you become charitable and benevolent, and you learn history and symbolism. Wait a minute, that's it? Oh, wait, they got another list. Stable employment, good wages, variety of work, physical activity. Isn't that the average working man? I was expecting to see some extravagant shit on the list. I don't know why, but that's what I was expecting. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic. We're talking about tricking. It ain't tricking if you got it, baby.
Tricking is when you're spending money on women and they have no attachment to you. So like if you have a girl and you taking her out and stuff like that, that's not tricking. But like if you got a girl, like she has no attachment to you, no connection with you, don't care nothing about you, she don't spend no time with you like that, and you spending money on her, to me that's tricking.
Okay.
But if that's your girlfriend and she's texting you, she's cooking you meals and stuff like that, to me that's not tricking. To me, that's just being a good provider or whatever. I ain't gonna do it, too cheap. But I won't knock it because the girl is doing something for you too. But when you ain't getting nothing out of the deal, you out here doing this, you buying this, and the other, and she might ration you some pussy once a month or something like that, that's tricky.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I would say the litmus test is this, and that's a fantastic point. It's strictly reciprocal, guys. Is really what it comes down to. If you're spending money and it only benefits the woman, 9 out of 10 times you're tricking, my friends. Whether and that counts for even where you're paying her for sex. That's still tricking,
right? Because
you're paying her for something that, quite frankly, she's benefiting from too.
Yes,
So
yes.
You busting nut, I busting nut.
Yeah, exactly.
Why pay for it?
Doing all my tricks. I'll make him lay back, and I'm gonna ride him and put that one leg up. When you put that one leg up while you riding with that hand on his chest,
ever since
and you just bouncing, your titties going everywhere, you got your
crazy.
hair flowing, you moaning, he just looking at you like you are the star. And you have more mobility because you got that one leg up and you just bouncing away.
She sound like a pro, don't she? Okay, baby girl, we see you. It sound like she got a lot of tricks out here. She probably got a foreign car and a high-rise apartment out of that one-leg technique. Keep doing your thing. Let's move on.
She said that this man's love language was to buy her gifts. You believe that's somebody's love language? Let me introduce you to the mind of a manipulator. Maybe then I can help you out a little bit. Because what manipulators do, they exploit your vulnerabilities. And even knowing that you have a fear of vulnerability, a fear of connection, a fear of intimacy, lets me know that I can exploit that. Yeah. I'm going to come in and give you false praise. I'm going to make you feel like you're rewarded. I'm going to make you feel like your time is rewarded. This ain't for you. This is for me. Please understand that I was never going to give you that relationship. This false praise that I gave you was to help me fill those voids, to help give me the reassurance in myself, to help validate who I am and my sense of security and stability. Stop falling for the okie doke. Come on. That man didn't introduce you to the family because you were never a part of his plan. Come on. Not long term. And until you start being real with yourself, because no matter what it is that you say, your behavior snitch on you. So a manipulator comes in and they see, oh, you afraid of this. I got you. Oh, your self-worth is low. I got you. Scary. Your self-esteem is low. I got you. Please understand that a lot of you set yourself up. Get to know this person.
Every time she opened her mouth, she be dropping jewels. And she's right. If you're dating a man and he refused to introduce you to his friends and family, you bust down status, baby girl. That's all he wants you for. And if you allow a man to string you along, he's going to string you along. Being with a man shouldn't be hard. If you're a woman and you're chasing a man, he not the one. You got some women that have been with men for 20 years waiting on a wedding ring. And you're not going to get it because he's settling for you because he can't afford his dream girl. So he's settling for you. Don't get mad at the player, baby. Get mad at the game. You have to accept the rules of the game. There's no changing. There's no switching up. Some of these women be holding on to men for dear life, for the rest of their life. I can't do it. There are other men out here that will treat you with the respect that you deserve. And stop sitting around waiting on that man to change. He's not changing because you're not the one. Now, when he meets the one, he's going to make those necessary changes because that's his dream woman. Please don't let that go over your head. Accept the game for what it is. Good night. I'm Star. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. Good night.